Yes, Dane O'Hara is wearing number 4, Rex. That's the problem we were trying to check out before the kick-off.
From the kick-off, Langmack in charge, takes it beyond the quarter line. Sterling with the man that had the first touch. They're just in their quarter now. The lights are already on here, Alan. And that's surprising. It's been a very dull, overcast day, but not all that cold. Now there's Dowling coming up the middle of the ruck. Got a pass away to Cleal, but it's on the ground. It will be a scrum. A little bit hurried, that pass. Just need to settle down a bit. You can hear all the singing and the chanting in the front here. It's really a great commentary position we've got here, let me tell you. I think they emptied the local loony bin. Let me see. This scrum's going down 10 metres into... Oh, there's the first penalty of the match. Didn't take long. Oh, the Australians, the evil men, failed to pack where they were told. Well, 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 well. Up comes number 5 there to take it. Carl McCoid, he's got a decent pair of legs on him, and he gave that ball a belt. Now we'll see Steve Crooks, no relation to Les the tap restart. On to Knocker Norton, away to Ah Kuoi. Good tackle there on number 13, came in very low. That was Tracy Lazenby playing it lock forward. Andy Dannatt, a big lump of a lad, but the defence was there pretty smartly. He's just outside the Australian quarter. Walked about 4 metres off the mark. Knocker Norton goes for a kick through. It's a chase now. It's been kicked downfield. It's over the sideline, according to Mr. Jackson, that touch judge. And it came off, I believe, Crooks. So it'll be an Australian feed. Now this scrum going down about 10 metres out from the Australian line. And Sterling coming round to the open side to feed it. In and out, he goes the blind side. Trying to link there with Shearer, but getting a workout from a couple of the big forwards. There's Shearer now running from dummy half and going sideways. That's not on. Some of these forwards get behind him now. Now Knocker Norton's come in and started throwing punches in the back. Now that was totally started by Norton, the former Manly Warringah player, the former English international. He came in from the back and got involved in that. That was after Shearer was trying to straighten himself up. Here he comes now, Shearer. We're watching him go a little bit sideways. Then some of his own men got involved in pushing him forward. Royce Simmons and Dowling was dragging him there. A couple of punches thrown. Watch Norton come in from the back straight into Dowling. And there it goes. And that's how that little fracas started. Well, it's a scrum to go down. This Australian side will want to have a good kicking game today. They'll need to get out of this area here, otherwise this referee, on the evidence of the opening minute and a half, is going to give them a hell of a job. Gary Jack. The crowd really steaming them up, but of course the Australian side are patient. They'll play their methodical football. There's Niebling getting Crooks a little bit of a trip there, but the referee ignored that. Now to Dowling. He's hit hard in a strong head-on tackle by Steve Crooks. I think he's lost the football and is still on the Australian quarter. Well, a very stout opening defence by the Hull side in the opening couple of minutes. There's a very clean scrum here, but the halfback Winnie got a pass away to Ah Kuoi. Got another pass away out there. I think it's gone to ground. I think Australia are in possession. Yes, it is Australia in possession. Noel Cleal's the man. He was able to fall on it. Loose ball there. Phil Daly away to Sterling, trying to get it out to Lamb. Lamb's got an awful pass away. Gone to Michael O'Connor, picks it up, evades one tackle. And that was a terrible pass from Terry Lamb. Went way behind the intended target. There's still Australia battling in their own quarter. Michael O'Connor on to Darling. Hard and straight, the young fella, for 5 or 6 metres. Sterling on the call. Nice pass to Meninga. Meninga away to Miles. Miles has got... he's got him on the outside there. Shearer's up over halfway. A centre kick coming in. Terry Lamb's there. The chaser. This could be a try to Lamb. He's made a meal of it. Terry Lamb should only have just kicked that with his legs. He did the absolute wrong thing, in my view. He tried to pick up a roll ball, and I really feel that he's butchered that. A little touch with the foot, a light touch into the in goal. Oh, my dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Beautiful centre kick there from Shearer. There's a penalty against the Australians for the use of the legs in that scrum, striking with the wrong foot. We're going to have a look at a replay of that move again. You be the judge. There's Shearer up over halfway, coming to the quarter. A very nicely weighted inside kick, an old, what you'd call a rugby union centre kick. And there's Lamb, who's a very experienced player. And he bent down to try to pick up a bowling ball 2 metres from the line. Astonishing. Anyway, we're back to the action now with the Hull side. Just 5 metres outside their quarter. It was McCoid that got to his feet after a bit of a charge at the line. And still they come away with it. That should be a penalty for handling the ball in a ruck. He had a marker in front of him and he's touched the ball with his foot, picked it up again. They're still their own side of halfway. And we've had no score in this match, but we've had plenty of action. On the blind side, they go to Norton. Norton knocks the ball down and on, says the referee. On the blind side, that was not a master pass there from Sterling to him. Sterling at dummy half. On to Langmack. And the first penalty for inside the 5. Now Langmack should just ignore that. He's got the penalty. He doesn't need to do anything. He was being held onto by the Hull player on that occasion. Number 10, who's Andy Dannatt, a big lump of a fella with legs like tree trunks. Australia will have to watch their discipline today. Now that penalty kick over the sideline in front of the main stand, just inside the Hull quarter. No score. Now they come with a move and it's gone to Lamb. Lamb evades one tackle but finally crashed to the ground by Norton. Getting a real workout as he tries to get to his feet to play it. Dowling throws a dummy on the inside and makes a good surge. Australian backs line nice and deep there. They'll be looking for it. Lamb, there's Creel right through the middle of the ruck. Got a one-handed pass to Sterling. Sterling pivots and goes down about 8 metres out from the line, 10 metres perhaps. Simmons away to Gene Miles. Miles pops a long pass. It's taken there. It'll be knocked on. Miles there having an altercation. And it's coming in now again. More drama here in the opening stanza of this game. The referee just losing a bit of control. It's mostly push and shove. Miles was the Australian player involved. Let's see again what they're doing. Here's Miles, and he's having a bit of a wrestle there with Carl McCoid, the wing three-quarter. And I believe McCoid's been sin-bin for 10 minutes. There's the touch judge coming in. He's seen a few punches. And McCoid sin-bin for 10 minutes and a penalty to the Australian side. So what you'd call a frenetic opening to this match at Humberside in Hull. Michael O'Connor from 10 metres in from the sideline and on the quarter line. All right, well, we may have had an error on that. Steve Crooks may be the man they put in the sin bin. I've just been informed. Graham Hughes, you got information on that?
Steve Crooks, the hooker, is the man that's gone. McCoid was having a hold of Miles, and Crooks thought he better be the one to start the whole thing, so he's off for 10. Also trouble for Brian Niebling with a cork.
OK, Michael O'Connor gets it high in the air. Is it a goal? It is not. It's gone over the dead ball line. It'll be a restart with a quarter line drop. And we've had no score in this match. The breeze, as I've not mentioned, is just fairly light according to the flags, but favouring neither side, blowing across field. Gary Jack goes back for it. It's into his quarter. Up come the chasers. Jack brings it back a good 30 metres. And 40 metres, would you believe, up to within 10 metres or 8 metres of that halfway line. A lot of pushing and shoving going on here. Now, it's Mal Meninga getting involved close into the ruck. He's been called on and he gets up and throws a stiff hand at projecting a handoff at one of the Hull players. Through the middle of the ruck comes Daly, and he's dropped the football. He's got to control that ball. That's Dannatt again, getting up there and wanting to go on with Daly, and Daly not going to take a backward step, was quite happy to go with him. They were pulled away from each other. A scrum win against the feed to the Australian side. Sterling's away, up the sideline, going strongly. Looks like he can score. I don't know. Yes, he is. Peter Sterling with a beautiful blindside break has scored a try after sprinting about 40 metres without a hand being laid on him. Astonishing pace there. None of us really consider Sterling as a speedster in the context of halfbacks like an Alexander or a Hasler, but he showed enough on that occasion. Beat little Windy, the halfback there, pointless, and went round Kemble, and Kemble couldn't take him from behind. And a great try to the Australian captain of the day, Peter Sterling. Well, they didn't know whether to cheer or boo on that occasion because he is something of a deity up here, Sterling. And I think they were pleased to see him do something, but not against their own side. Now we've got an attempted conversion from wide out. He's kicking into that cross breeze that I was talking about. He's right out on the quarter line and also just on the sideline. Michael O'Connor is not going to get the distance. It just falls away to the right slightly, and the score remains Australia 4, Hull 0. And from the kick-off, it's Niebling, who Graham has told us has got some problem with a cork. He may be able to run that out. Sometimes they can. He's limping a little bit at the moment. You'll give us a report on him as we progress through, won't you, Graham?
He's really struggling. He's been given time.
Oh, Simmons right through the middle of the gap. Made a good run. Got a pass away to Daly. Daly gets it to Cleal. Cleal's got it to Shearer. Shearer's to Jack. Jack was tackled without the ball then. He'd not received the pass. There should have been a penalty to Australia there. Quite clearly tackled without the ball, as we see Carl McCoid go down on it there. He's the right wing's three-quarter. Great break by Roy Simmons. I interrupted you, Graham. Take it away again.
Well, Niebling is still struggling. They were going to give him time, Rex, but he's making the tackle now. But you watch him struggle when he gets up and tries to run back into position. The man loosening up on the sideline over here in front of me is Les Davidson in 15.
OK, Lee Crooks has got the kick downfield. Now, the player that's gone through there is Stewart Vass, and he's being run around now as Michael O'Connor comes to him. He's got support on the outside as Mal Meninga. He comes back inside. There's an open padding in front of him. He's going strong. Kemble, he's evaded. Got the pass away to Gene Miles. Miles got a long pass out to Shearer. Shearer can't pick it up. Now he can, but the referee has ruled forward. I won't argue with that. Miles had the opportunity there to get a pass away, but the defence came in very quickly and just hit him as he offloaded. Great run by O'Connor there to set the pass up, as you're seeing on the replay, to Meninga, and suddenly it all opened up in front of him. Nobody there. He evaded the fullback's tackle, but at this point, his pass onto Miles was a good one, but Miles was interfered with quite legitimately just as he got the pass away, and now we're back with the action. So what could have been a try, Niebling off at this stage, so Graham will give us a report on that in a moment, and we've got Les Davidson on the paddock. So Australia in need of no more injuries in this match from the forward point of view. Just over the quarter now. 4-0, couple of opportunities gone begging for the Australian side. There's Crooks diving it deep. Gary Jack will get to this perhaps. He does. He's got Michael O'Connor on the outside. Can't get a pass away. He's tackled on the quarter line. Again, a good tackle by Stewart Vass, who's doing plenty of chasing of kicks downfield. Simmons, Sterling, Shearer's pace. He's right through. He got a pass back on the inside to Miles. Must be a try. Oh, Miles has taken the tackle, and he had Terry Lamb on the outside. Awful play. Awful play. Miles gets up, gives it out. It's intercepted. There's a pass being taken there, and Daly's the man, and pulls up a top-line tackle that saved what was going to be probably a try in the corner. That's a winger he's pulled off Eastwood. So good work, young Daly, on the halfway line now, and Gene Miles, astonishing blunder there. Failed the pass when he had Terry Lamb on the outside. They've squandered about 3 tries. There's a pass going to number 12 there. That's young Crooks. Got it away to Norton. It's picked up by Sterling. Sterling's got Shearer on the outside. He calls him on the inside. Now Shearer is tackled by the defence on the Hull quarter line. OK, we're watching a steadied down Australian team now. Sterling away there to... yes, we're just looking out there on the side. We've got a player Noel Cleal in trouble. He's gone from the field, has he?
In real trouble, Rex. Noel Cleal's just been taken straight off by the doctor. It looks as though he's broken his right forearm, and Des Hasler are going to make a welcome reappearance on the scene. Don't know what the positional changes will be at this stage.
All right, so the Australian side in all sorts of trouble. Noel Cleal off with an injury that we hope is not as serious as his first thought. He's walking with the doctor. Okay, now the Australian side are back on the line again. It's out to Sterling, a pass out there to Miles. Miles out to Jack. Jack should get it to O'Connor. O'Connor should score. Oh, he loses it to Jack, and Jack knocks it on over the sideline. So they're continuing to squander tries and opportunities here, the Australian side. But in deep disarray with injuries. See again, there was an opportunity out here, but Michael O'Connor came back on the inside, has the ball knocked out of his hands. It went straight to Gary Jack, who didn't expect it, and over the sideline it went. I'm logging 4 tries, I think, that have been butchered by the Australians in the opening 15 minutes of this match. Penalty. So, Niebling off, and Cleal off. And both the replacements on. Des Hasler's back after having a broken thumb himself. We will tell you what that pack's going to be when we see how they pack into the scrum. That's the only way we'll know. All right, there's Des Hasler, who's probably they were hoping wouldn't have to play on this match for the reasons of that former fracture he had against his thumb. Now another penalty. That penalty count starting to get up to reasonable proportions already. It's 4-1 in favour of the Hull side. The scrums have gone 3-2 in favour of Australia. And there's been 1 against the feed by Australia. Yes, Graham, let's get that information on Brian Niebling.
Brian, only a minor cork, is it?
Well, I can't put much weight on my leg at the moment. I just got a knee and a tackle, and it's just, you know, I was still pretty cold from coming on the field, so, you know, hopefully it isn't anything major. We'll just have to see how it goes tomorrow. It's a cork side, so you don't think it'll be worried for a test match? Well, I hope not, no.
They've certainly given you a nice warm welcome here at Hull.
Yeah, it's a very hard start. You know, I think they thought, you know, coming out and fight us was a way to beat us, and, you know, they've, you know, a few injury problems now, so, you know, hopefully it, you know, cools down a bit and they start playing football. All right, well, good luck with that injury. Thanks, mate.
4-0 the score, and Norton gets a pass back on the inside there to number 9, Steve Crooks, and he's tackled on the quarter line. Australia have got no more replacements. Norton showing a bit of cleverness there, moving it to Kemble. Kemble gets it away to Dannatt. Dannatt tries to bulldoze. The defence was equal to the task and gave him a workout. Dowling was there all over him. They come up the blind side again. It's Crooks, he's running into trouble. Gets a pass away up the back. There's a knock on there. And that will be a scrum down on the quarter line. Australia's in. 4-0 Australia. OK, we're looking at this Australian pack right now, and it appears that Des Hasler's going to pack in as the lock forward. And it's an Australian scrum win. Hasler picks it up. He'll be happy to get back into football. Plays it back to Sterling. On to Jack. Jack goes through the first tackle there rather easily. Fred Ah Kuoi was the man that missed the tackle. Simmons has made one brilliant break from dummy half already. Went about 35-40 yards. Australia now trying to pump it up through the middle. Young Daly, 2 pulled off a top line tackle a little while ago when a pass was intercepted. And that was great for him. Back to Lamb. The kick going downfield. He's found open space. O'Connor's there on the sprint, as is Hasler. Kemble's back for it. They're both offside. He will kick now. He's kicked it out in the full. That's a terrible... No. Oh, it's going to be a line kick. A beautiful kick. Oh! It came off the side of his foot, and I think he was despaired that he was going to kick it out in the full. It certainly looked that way, but then straightened up, came back down and rolled just towards the halfway line. So it was a great kick, the upshot. 4-0 Australia. We've had about 17 minutes. Australia come up with a scrum win. Lamb's tackled by Ah Kuoi. Can't get to his feet. Now Ah Kuoi strikes at it. That should have been 6 to go. Michael O'Connor, a good run from dummy half. Sterling doing the organising there, calling the shots. He's the scorer of the Australian try, Sterling. Dowling, Langmack. The pass was too hard, much too hard. And up comes Steve Crooks with the ball from that drop pass. It was not Langmack's fault at all. It was much too hard. for the Hull side, Dave Brown, the former Australian. Well, not a former Australian, still an Australian, but played for Eastern Suburbs, Manly and Brisbane. Queensland State of Origin player. They're still only 10 metres outside their quarter. It'll be the kicking game now. There's Crooks getting it downfield. It should go to Michael O'Connor. He takes it beautifully. Talented player, this man. Comes in for solid defence on the halfway line. Number 9 was there, Steve Crooks. He's getting through a lot of work for this team. Davidson on the burst. He's got to control that football, the Australians, just squandering possession a little bit. Dowling doing his job close to the ruck. Punching it up there. They're 10 metres into the Hull half. Simmons on to Daly. Daly gets a bit of a stiff, loses the ball. That's his second offence in that way. Must hold that football at all costs. Crooks trying to run sideways and they come at him and down he goes. I thought he was going to try to get a one-handed pass away there. Steve Crooks out to Dave Brown. On to Dannatt. Dannatt's upended. Dowling was the man with Davidson. Steve Crooks again. Busy player. No relation to Lee Crooks. Windley trying to move it out wide. It's out there to number 12, and that's Lee Crooks, of course. Got up and played the ball sideways, picked it up in a ruck, and still gets away with it. Gets the kick downfield. Astonishing rulings by referees in the play the ball area. Michael O'Connor. A great acceleration, great speed. Just brings it outside the quarter. Gene Miles standing there looking for it. Now Roy Simmons runs, gets it to Miles, and Miles goes hard. About 8 metres from the halfway line. Simmons having a bit of a field day with running. There he goes again. Made a good inroad, he's right through. Oh, he gets a pass away to Sterling. Magically picked up onto Gene Miles. Back to Sterling. Sterling looking for support. Awful pass out to Shearer. Awful. Another, what I would suggest, try butchered. And I don't think I'm being unrealistic when I say in the opening 22 minutes of this game, I concede they've butchered 5 tries. Sterling's magic pick up there, but the pass of the basketball variety was never on. And it went metres forward. Back to the action here with with Des Hasler going over. And the referee has ruled a try. We came out of the replay there. A bit difficult to see. I wasn't seeing the actual happening, the event, watching the replay and calling it. So from the scrum, Australia obviously won the ball, and they must have worked a move at the base of the scrum, and it went to Hasler, and he's gone over and scored the try at Jason. Well, that'll do his confidence a lot of good. You see him flexing that hand, the left hand that he had the fractured thumb. Just 8-0 at this stage. Michael O'Connor. Here he goes from almost directly in front, so it was an easy one. The Australians move along to a 10 points to 0 lead over the Hull side. Lee Crooks now to restart the action for the Hull side. Drives it hard, taken well there by Langmack, and he still brings it back a few metres to within 10 metres of the halfway line. Davidson throws the big dummy. Royce Simmons repeating a couple of Australians from the field. Niebling with a cork thigh, and Noel Cleal with an arm injury that looked a bit desperate. Sterling's gone for the kick through. Kemble's on the race back. It's gone to within about 8 metres of the line. 5-4. It's on the line now. He evades the tackle of Lamb, but he can't evade the tackle of O'Connor. Good chasing there by Sterling and O'Connor. It's the winger number 2, Paul Eastwood. Big lump of a lad. He's been done for pace a couple of times by Michael O'Connor, who's marking him, Steve Crooks. Out to Dave Brown. Powerhouse player. Always very difficult to tackle. About 4 metres from the halfway line. Up the blind side comes Dannatt. He runs into a brick wall there. Davidson was the brick wall. They're still inside their quarter. Dummy thrown. Some of the players. Oh dear. Well, the referee has ruled that that ball was stolen from the tackle player. So we're going to see a penalty here just inside the quarter. A couple of the Hull players that actually started off upfield awaiting a kick through, but the player was tackled in possession. Carl McCoid, the line kicker, possessor of a pair of hefty legs, plays on the wing. Knocker Norton passing out to Ah Kuoi. Long pass, not going anywhere here. They're just running crossfield at the moment. That was Stewart Vass. Paul Eastwood, a dummy half, trying to run from there. Big lump of a lad. Hasler was one of the defenders. Michael O'Connor the other. Steve Crooks. Windley. Then on to Lee Crooks. On the halfway line. Crowd trying to manufacture an incident there on the blind side. Long cutout pass. Got away there to number 3. Vass. Good tackle right round the boots by Gene Miles. On the halfway line, not going anywhere through this Australian defence, weakened as it may be by the loss of 2 players, although the 2 that have come in are both very, very fine men. They're moving it out wide now. There's a little kick through. That might be a better one. Meninga takes it beautifully, swooped on it, gone for the big accelerator job and takes it back to halfway. Dave Brown, the defenders there. Royce Simmons, on to Dowling. Dowling runs into solid defence from Lee Crooks. There's Daly. He's got to hold that ball firmly. Got to pass away nicely to Davidson. Davidson stands in a tackle. Over the top comes Ah Kuoi. 8-0 Australia lead. Oh, 10-0 Australia lead. 10-0 Sterling. Lamb. Nice pass there to Miles. A nice pass equally to Meninga. Meninga gets it out to O'Connell. O'Connor goes up the side and is just caught by number 10 there, Dannatt. I think he'd beaten the winger. Gene Miles pumping it up through the forwards. He's big enough. Believe me, both Meninga and he are the 2 of the biggest centres you'd ever hope to see. They've got muscles they haven't even used yet. Sterling, the high Gary Owen. How will Kemble stand the power of this one? He's put under pressure and takes it beautifully. Hasler was there. Kemble, the Kiwi fullback. And Hull fullback. McCoid comes away with a good run. Crowd applauding the fact that he beat a tackle. Norton calls for it on the open side. Still got a spring-heeled run about him. Got a pass away there. The player who took a trip over a fallen body, that was Windley. He's just on the quarter line. Dannatt. Big lump of a second rower. They're moving it out wide there. There's a knock on. Australia should get possession back from this. Lamb gets a pass away to Dowling. Dowling to Jack. Jack's got it out to Miles. Miles looking for Sterling. Gets it to him now. Back on the inside to O'Connor. O'Connor goes well, finally put down. Still gets to his feet. Going nicely. Still going. It's a brilliant run by O'Connor. Got a pass away to Lamb. And it's a try. Terry Lamb, the man who loves to back up, picked up a pass there on his boots. But my heavens, have you ever seen more evasion from one player, Michael O'Connor, in his attempt to thread the defence? See it again. Here was the action. Beautifully swooped on by Hasler, that lost ball to Dowling, did exactly the right thing, getting it to Jack. Jack leaped with a 3-quarter line, ready and rearing to go. It's Miles, a good basketball pass to Sterling, and here's where the magic started. O'Connor caught, put to the ground, tripped, gets to his feet, beats another tackle, half-tripped again at that point, swung almost to the ground, evades the next tackle, still goes as he's falling. Oh, look at the hands on Lamb. And was it a touch forward? Well, the referee was right beside it, and I can promise you, he wouldn't have given him an inch. So Terry Lamb continuing his monumental try-scoring feats on this tour. That's his 13th try for the tour. Michael O'Connor, 15 metres out, about 25 metres off centre. O'Connor taking his time, the breeze with him, crossfield breeze. No trouble at all. So the Australians have comfortably moved away now to a 16-0 lead. And we've had, I would think, in the order of about 31 minutes of action. That's not official time, of course. Here at Hull's ground. As you can see, they came in late and they came in hordes. All right, Lee Crooks again. He'll have had enough of the Australians by the time this tour's over. Davidson let that bounce to Sterling. It's picked up by Shearer, who's shown a clean pair of heels several times this match. Sterling, the scorer of the first try. Davidson, good run. Can't get his hands free. Simmons, the cutout pass on to Daly. Daly goes strongly. 10 metres from the halfway line. Simmons at dummy half. Sterling. Lamb. Cutout pass. Awful one, but it goes on the bounce to Shearer. And he takes it to within about 3 metres of the halfway line. They spin it across again. Lamb goes to the kick downfield. That's not a good kick. It's gone straight to Kemble on the first, on the fall, but now he very nicely, I thought, kicked straight back on the first tackle, which to me shows a absolute, well, how was that a knock on? I'd like another look at that. The referee must have seen something that I didn't see. Jack misjudged it, certainly. But did you see him propel it towards his opponent's goal line? Certainly didn't propel it towards his opponent's goal line. He overran the ball. They've come up with a scrum win, the Hull side. Ah Kuoi, the pass there onto Vass. Vass driven backwards by some committed defence from Lamb and Miles. So Graham Hughes will get to give us the latest information that he's been able to ascertain on the Noel Cleal arm situation.
Well, Bill Monahan, as we saw, took him straight off the field. The manager, John Fleming, has also left us here down here in the dugout. They're on their way to hospital for x-rays to check on that right forearm.
Well, I've just, well, that's bad, good news in a way and bad news in a way. We hope that it's not broken, but it's good that they've got him to hospital quickly to check it out. I've just seen a player, Dannatt, the second rower, walk 5 yards off the play the ball and not be penalised. An astonishing performance. Dave Brown put down only about 15 metres, 20 metres perhaps out from the line, out to Windley. There, Crooks has gone for the kick. It's over O'Connor. And it went straight there to number 2, Paul Eastwood, and he was able to get onto it on the full, but it's a handover. So the Lee Crooks kick was on the 6th tackle. On to Dowling. And the Australian forwards now have to do their hard work. This is the grinding stuff to bring it away, to give the room for their backs. They've been doing it so well all the tour. Now Daly's turn to pump it up. Got to hold that ball. That's where he weakens a little bit. They've made about 18 metres and 3 rucks. That's all right. Norton all over Daly there, like the rash. Miles has stepped, everybody. Gone right up the middle. Must be another try, is it? Going to be to Meninga. Look at him go. The big fella's bolted. He's right up the middle of the field. He's outdistanced everybody. Miles has come away with a bust after 3 play the balls in which the forwards did exactly their job. Just ground it out, sucked the defence to them. And the upshot was room for the backs. Miles busted them open and looked for his big mate. And there it was. So here's the end of it. The end of the 3 rucks. This was the 4th, and we've got Miles just going through some parlous defence. Horrifying stuff. You'd smack a small boy on the backside with a stick if you saw him tackle like that. And there's Big Meninga. I think he's going to run into the Humber River. He's over, and look at him go. The ground thunders as he puts it down. And the score now very comfortable, 20-0. I'm afraid some of the Hull fans don't like their side being flogged here. Well, they've got a Foreign Legion out there. It's not an English side, it's a Foreign Legion side. There's the O'Connor conversion. The score are comfortable now, 22-0, but it's been an expensive game with the 2 injuries that we've experienced. And we will be desperately anxious to inform you and ourselves of the Cleal situation. The penalty count at the moment is Hull 6, Australia 1. And that's one of the penalty counts that we've come to expect over here. Anyway, we've got the Australians in possession from the kick-off. I did mention that the lights are on. And away it goes to Dowling. Dowling pumps it up towards the halfway line, about 7 metres from it. And there's Royce Simmons, a dummy half. To Sterling. Davison slips 5 metres from halfway. Simmons again. Sterling's kick is charged down. It's fortuitously picked up there by Langmack. A tackle count restarted. Came off the hands of a Hull player onto Daly. Daly trying to grind his way forward. Gets beyond the halfway line. Gets a bit of a kick there from one of his opposite numbers. Dowling proving an enormous handful for the Hull pack. This bloke is just such a good player these days. Simmons, it's a clever bit of football. The Lamb's busted him right up the middle. He had a collision with the referee, and there was a try going to come up to Langmack. The referee got in the way there, and Terry Lamb is, well, I think the pass was forward, and the referee really couldn't do much about it. See it again. As Lamb throws, the dummy goes right through. The referee, he stepped and came to him, and then passed it forward. It was not a little forward, it was about 4 metres forward. There's a scrum win to the Hull side, just inside their own quarter. 22-0 Australia's favour. 4 tries and 3 goals. 22-0. Hull. They're black and white, those colours. Australia, of course, in their usual and customary and traditional green and gold. Dave Brown, just outside the quarter. Hull forwards are making no impression on the Australian pack at the moment. They're having difficulty getting through there. There's only the one break been made against them, and that came from an intercept. There's Shearer going beautifully. Beautiful run from him. A gain of about, well, 20 metres. Out they come. Sterling, not a Miles. Timed it to perfection to Jack. Jack to Michael O'Connor. Beats his own man pointless. Steps, comes on the inside. The cover coming across puts him down. That was good tackling by Steve Crooks, who's arguably their best player. In the forward, certainly. There's Shearer again. Appearing very enthusiastic. He's lost the football. It's picked up by Simmons. Now it's picked up by Ah Kuoi. And Shearer dispossessed of the ball. Very tired-looking Hull side now. They've been run around. Dannatt standing in a tackle there. There was nobody to run. I think the old fuse has gone out on some of these players. There's Knocker Norton, who must be knocking 35 if he's knocking anything. Was a great player in his halcyon days. Out there to Vass. Nowhere. Langmack comes in to belt him around the body, which is legitimate. The crowd were a little bit disturbed by that. Out they move it across, but to Brown. Brown didn't want to run with it. It's been charged down again. Ricochets to Kemble. That should be a tackle count restart. It is. The referee sees that. They're still in their quarter. Norton around the blind side of the ruck, looking for support. He gets it away there to Lee Crooks, who's upended unceremoniously. On the blind they go, but it's really pretty ponderous sort of running they're doing in the ruck play. Their forwards now are just going through what I consider the motions, and the backs are not doing a whole lot much more in the way of penetration. Having said that, there's a pass being knocked down at 6 to go. As Paul Eastwood comes up with it. Out to Norton. Norton looking for support. Finds Steve Crooks. They're still about 15 metres their own side of halfway. Now Norton out to Windy, the little halfback. Got out to that winger out there on the left, who's Carl McCoid. And he can't make any ground either. It's just a procession of crossfield movement until such time as Crooks comes in with a kick, and then they go downfield, and on that occasion he's made a very good touch of about 55 metres. Graham, here's a pretty pedestrian performance by this Hull side.
Well, they're certainly looking forward to this half-time break, which is only a minute or so away. But a big performance for the Australian forwards. A lot of drop ball early, but they've settled the play down. They're not trying to make any mistakes in their own quarter or their own half. I like the way Dowling and also Phil Daly are hitting the ball up in the middle of the rucks.
Yes, well, forward play has been consistently high and good. There are some missiles being thrown onto the ground here. I don't quite know what that's all about, but I don't like it. There have been a couple of things that appear to have been in the bricks thrown onto the field at different points in front of us. Anyway, this tap restart. There's Brown going within about 5 metres of the Australian line. Is this going to be a moment when they come up with a try? There's the hooter in the background. So at the half-time break, we have a scoreline that reads Australia 4 tries and 3 goals, 22 points to 0. For the Australian side, the tries have been scored by Sterling, a solo effort. Hasler from a scrum move. Lamb backing up magnificently inside. Michael O'Connor and Mal Meninga after Gene Miles and Royce Simmons had done the groundwork. The goals have been scored by O'Connor, 3. He's had a couple of misses, but in the conditions not too bad. The penalties have gone in the favour of the Hull side by 6-1. The scrums have gone to Australia by 6-4. And there's been 1 scrum against the feed, and that went to Australia. We did have 1 player sin bin. That was Steve Crooks, and he went in for 10 minutes. So at the half-time break, 22-0. Australia comfortably in the front, but we've sustained a couple of injuries. More about that from Graham Hughes after the break. We've been searching to get information on Crusher Cleal, and Graham Hughes, I am reliably informed, has just joined him. He's returned from the hospital. And Graham, the news on Noel Cleal.
Well, Rex, I'm with him now in the dressing room. I'm a little bit blind here, so I'll have to let you stay with the play if anything breaks out there. But Noel, I'm just looking at a bit of a dent there in that right forearm. Do you feel it, yeah?
Yeah, mate, as soon as I did it, you know when something happens, and unfortunately, I just felt it at the time, and it's in pain, and I don't think I could have went on.
Can you remember the incident at all?
Yeah, I think he might have ducked in. I just went up to tie it up, and then he ducked in, and then I just, you throw your arm to try and cover the ball up, and I think that's collided with his melon.
So, yeah, well, judging by the look of it, I don't think we need any x-rays.
Mate, by this time 2 weeks, I'll probably be soaking the sun up.
All right, well, good luck back in Sydney when you get back into that sunshine then.
Thanks, Graham.
Well, that's the worst possible news if it's been confirmed. Do we know that it's been confirmed that it is fractured?
Well, Rex, Noel said that he felt it go. There is a huge dent in his forearm. I'm with the Dr. Bill Monaghan. He's confirmed that as far as he's concerned, it's broken. Of course, they just have to go and check x-rays to see just how badly. All right, well, that's an appalling blow to Australia. The loss of Roach first and then Cleal. The pack is starting to diminish in size, but by heavens, I've got to say the other lads are doing a great job. Anyway, there's Lamb getting a run-around move. I'll work with Jack, and he's got it up the sideline now, trying to accelerate his way through the gap. And a fine tackle from Gary Kemble puts him down on the quarter. Now they'll spin it wide. Shearer trying to straighten it up. He's caught by the jersey and pulled backwards by Andy Dannatt and swung hard to the ground. They're on the quarter. Now Davidson, there's Simmons running from dummy half. Now Davidson has been tackled without the football by Dannatt. That didn't bring a penalty, but you don't wonder about it. Miles, a great pass there away to Langmack, who took it well. They're only about 15 metres out and looking pretty strong at this stage. Australians look as though they've got blood in their eye. They want another try, and smartly. There's Dowling. He's forced his way to within about 8 metres of the line. And some of the openings appearing in the Hull defence. Sterling switching. Gets a kick right back the other way. Who's going to get to this? Is anybody going to get to it? No, it's just gone over the dead ball line. So that was a sort of a feint to the right and a kick to the left. And the crowd, I was interested to hear, were singing a song as teams came back on the field. And when they saw Peter Sterling, they started to say, "There's nobody like Peter Sterling." And they repeat that about 8 or 9 times in the sing-song. He'd walk on water across the Humber Bridge, Humber River, I think, as far as they're concerned. Oh, great tackle there coming in from Dowling, who's been a strong competitor in this match. Now Crooks getting his kick downfield. It's going to go over Jack's head by quite a distance. He's pounding back. He's taken Michael O'Connor back with him. O'Connor's there now. He's got some support. Does he link? No, he's going to run it up to the quarter. Australian players taking a bit of time to get back on side. Dowling still not back. There's Michael O'Connor running from dummy half in a good, very fine game of about 15 metres. Royce Simmons has had some terrific runs. There's Daly. Hey! The big ricochet. Dannatt tried to run into him. Oh, no, it wasn't Dannatt. It was Steve Crooks. And he tried to run into him, and Daly just dispossessed him. Dowling. Pass beautifully onto Langmack.
Langmack looking on the inside. They'll put the glasses down. That's Des Hasler, the greyhound, and he's broken away. And he's going to score a beautiful try. That was a beautiful try, right underneath the black dot. Great stuff there from Langmack, who cut through nicely. The pass to him from the earlier part of the move was splendid. Look at this again. Great stuff here. That pass there was absolutely magic. Langmack surged into a gap. And there he goes to Hasler. Hasler was on the call on the inside. It's his second try of the match. And he will be a welcome return to this Kangaroo touring party, who are running into injury problems. Very versatile player, can play halfback, can play lock as he's doing today. And I don't doubt could cover wing with his pace, could cover a 5'8" role. Matter of fact, he could pretty nearly play anywhere. He's just a great athlete, as Des Hasler, very fast. There he is, Michael O'Connor. This is a simple kick for him, round the corner, bang, up she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. Over she goes. That's getting pretty comfortable to look at, isn't it? 28-0.
Keep it down to the...
Oh, get on the board. That's on the line is out. On the line is out. And the touch judge is totally correct. Mr. Jackson knows his rules. He ruled that on the line is out. The sidelines are in touch. The goal lines are in goal. You can score a try on the line. And there's a little punch, rabbit killer to the back of the head there, but from Lee Crooks, didn't make any difference to Daly. Simmons, Davidson on the tear. These young Australian forwards putting up a fine display today. Really good stuff. Simmons, Sterling, there's a gap opening up there. Lamb's gone right through it. Now he's picked off by the defence. Coming across it was another Australian, Dave Brown. Lamb saw it and he wanted it. Away goes Gene Miles. Dowling pumping it up through the edge of the ruck on the quarter line. 28-0, 5 tries and 4 goals to the Australian side. Simmons, Sterling, Gary Jack. It's a switch across the ruck, one of the many moves they've got. Get off him, says the referee. Mr. Smith. Sterling pops a pass out to Meninga, that big step of his. He gets a pass away nicely to Shearer. Shearer goes back on the inside and runs into trouble, but he's still going. He's going, if I can put it this way, he's going forward backwards. He's making ground even though he was facing his own goal line. Simmons away to Sterling. He's gone for the crossfield bomb. That's putting them under pressure out wide. Who's got to that? One of the Hull players, and he's ruled offside. I'm not going to argue with that. I think possibly Langmack was in front of the kicker. And that penalty count now is in the order of 7-1 against Australia. And the kick for touch is a towering punt. Bring rain, that one. Right up over the stand. That's a good kick. A gain of about 38 metres. There's Dannatt. Big second rower, or a big prop forward actually. He started out in the second row and switched to his prop. There's another penalty, and that's against Langmack for failure to get off the tackle player, and Dowling there getting chastised for an accident tackle. The penalty. That brings it up to 8-1. So Dowling, the man on the end of that penalty. Carl McCoid, another fine kick by, gee, some of their line kickers are doing a great job here for the whole side. A little bit of a weakness in the Australian test side, it must be said, from the evidence of that second test. Norton trying to step his way through the middle of the Australian forwards, no way. They've got it into the quarter. Working a switch, Ah Kuoi gets it away there. And a good move coming up, but it was number 12, Lee Crooks, who was finally getting the pass away to Winnie, and now the crowd roaring for them, want them to score a try. Lee Crooks again going from dummy half. We're only about 8 metres out. A couple of tackles to go. Norton, Ah Kuoi pops a pass nicely to Dannatt. Hasn't got the pace to go through that gap. Ponderous, large young man. Switching to Dave Brown. Brown tries to organise himself there to get his arms free, but they belted him to the ground about 5 metres out. Now it's the last tackle. Away she goes to Norton. Norton's going to put the kick across. Oh, it's going to go into the end goal, knocked on and offside. The referee, Mr. Smith, ruling that that wing three-quarter Paul Eastwood was in front of the goal kicker, in front of the man who put the kick up, Steve Knocker Norton. $28 points to 0, 5 tries and 4 goals. Australia leading here at Hull. And the evidence of that opening 20 minutes, I do believe, on my count, the Australians perhaps squandered 5 tries. This could have been a monumental score. Simmons. Langmack. Good step. Right through. Looks for support. Lamb's there. They won't catch Terry Lamb. You can put the glasses down right now. He's bolted right underneath the goal post, and that's his 14th try for the season. We've got a Donnybrook going on back here. Let's see whether or not that's going to be anything to do with an Australian transgression. Dannatt's the player that's been thrown down by Davidson. Graham Hughes, you've got a view of that. I was following Lamb.
Well, Andy Dannatt and Dowling have all been after each other the whole match. Dowling was hit without the ball. Dannatt was the man. He then went in with a headbutt. There were about 4 or 5 headbutts exchanged either way. Dannatt's the man that's got to go because 2 or 3 times he lashed out, kicking the Australians in the legs.
Well, he got his comeuppance at the end. He's gone down like a great big girl when he's been pulled to the ground at the end of it all. Let's have a look at the replay of the action if we can. And we're following the play going through with Langmack. It's in the background there, we can't see it. It did look as though there was headbutting going on from Dannatt. Lamb goes away and scores a try. Now, where's the try going to stand? He's given somebody 10 minutes in the sin bin. And he's still going to award the try. Dowling's off. Nobody else at this stage. Well, Dannatt is still down being treated. He wasn't punched, he wasn't hurt in that way. He was pulled by the jersey and thrown to the ground. And went rather easily, I must say. Well, the crowd's setting up a bit of an unfortunate chant here, but in the main they've seen an entertaining game. Dannatt, very rubbery leg being taken from the field there. Hughes, is he sin bin too or not?
Dannatt was sent to the sin bin for 10, he was, yes.
He's going to be sent to casualty, is he?
Well, they have got a replacement warming up, Jon Sharp in 15. They might be trying to replace him. I don't think you'll see much more of Andy Dannatt anyway.
Yeah, Mal Meninga's just given him a mouthful and told him what he thinks of him. He's I'd say, a beaten warrior. Now we've got Chris Mortimer on the field at the moment, just in a tracksuit, talking to the lads as the kick and goal is about to be taken. Action all over the field. Michael O'Connor's kick was successful, so the scoreline punches along to a very comfortable 34 points to 0. There was a try scored to Lamb there, and the conversion attempt was successful. Now Jack from the kickoff brings it back. Let's see if there's any fire develops, any further fire develops in this game. Meninga coming straight and hard, and a penalty to Australia. They rush in now as Meninga's copping a little bit of a workout. I don't think it'll worry Mal Meninga in the least. He's still got the ball firmly locked in his hands there. Just gave it up. And the signal was a head-high tackle. I think the crowd are really, we're trying to work out what the chant is that's going up on the inside there. Daly, the strong bust, goes through the middle of the ruck and knocks 3 or 4 of them out of the way, trying to fight his way to his feet. Australian back's not spread at the moment. There's Langmack coming through the middle again. Sterling calling for a wider back line, and he's got it now. Now Sterling's gone for the kick downfield. It's a kick and chase. If it bounces this way, there could be trouble, but Kemble does get to it. He's picked off by Shearer and put down about 10 metres out from the line. 34 points to 0 the score at this stage. The little halfback, Windley, comes under a high tackle. I think that was quite correct by the referee. going to get a player. Daly is it spoken to at the moment. He's been told to keep his tackles down. There's a quick tap being taken. Crooks gets it away to Norton. Norton runs wide, gets a pass to the winger out there. He's not going anywhere. He's picked off very, very smartly. That was Eastwood. Now they move it out along the line again, the Hull side, punching it out wide. But the defence again too adequate. There's an intercept from Gene Miles. An intercept of the pass there from McCoid, and he just goes over and scores a try to sort of settle their hash. Number 5 there, Carl McCoid, as you'll see on the replay, tried to unload the ball in a tackle. He really didn't have any need to do it. He couldn't evade the tackle that came to him from our man Dale Shearer. The pass on the inside went straight to Gene Miles, and Miles just sprinted the 30 metres to score the try with guess who in attendance? Terry Lamb, who no doubt had the temerity to call for it. Oh, yes. We're looking at the unusual side of a player of the team. He's not entitled under the rules to stand there, Norton. He should be in the end goal or from the field of play over the sideline. The rules don't allow him to stand on the field of play in that position. Michael O'Connor now from about 8 metres inside the quarter, and about 10 metres in from the sideline. He struck that, it's curling. It is a goal. It's becoming a positive embarrassment. That score now moves on to 40 points to 0 in Australia's favour. And we've still got plenty of time to go. They might get the half-century, Graham Hughes.
I'm sorry, Rex, I'm having trouble with that crowd of all your fan club in front of you there.
I say they might get the half-century. There's still time to go.
Well, there's plenty of time. Really, by now, though, the way they messed up that first 20 minutes, the score should be well and truly over 50 at the moment. I'm also looking right at this very time at Paul Langmack. He looks as though he might have earned himself a nice broken nose out of this one. He's covered in blood at the moment, but he's still calling for the ball now, just about to come into action.
He's played well, very well. His best performance that I've seen on the tour so far. But all the forwards have done remarkably well. Dowling has been an absolute tower of strength in the tough part of the game. But here they go now to Sterling. He's moved it out very wide there and taken out of the play was Dale Shearer trying to get a pass away, and he was hit just at that moment. And the pass misdirected, went over the sideline. $40 points to 0. Phil Windley defeated. In it goes, out it comes Australia's side. The referee says it's a differential penalty. Windley trying to get the ball from Sterling. Sterling gives it back to him now. Lee Crooks to take the kick for touch. Now again, Hull, for rare occasions, get back into the quarter, the Australian quarter. Steve Crooks. Out to Norton. Ah Kuoi trying to side an opening and go through. Nothing there. Hasler was one of the defenders. Roy Simmons the other. Norton on the quarter, throwing dummies, turning it back inside. That's a little halfback. He's a little bit pedestrian for pace, this little lad. Norton turns, swivels, gets a good pass back into Lee Crooks. Pass gone Australia. It's been kicked ahead by Kemble, but over the dead ball line. Knock on. It will be an Australian feed. Okay, the scrum has been won by Australia, and Hasler's been tackled straight away and apparently knocked on the ball, according to the referee. Throws the ball away in disgust, so it'll be now a Hull feed. And I think Graham Hughes has got news of a replacement coming on.
Jon Sharp in 15 for Hull, moved to the sideline to replace the sin bin man, Andy Dannatt.
All right, there's the little halfback. Phil Windley trying to go through the middle of the ruck there. He was no way he was going to. Get a pass away. Norton, Ah Kuoi, Lee Crooks, a long floppy pass out there to number 4, Dane O'Hara, who's not had his name called much in this commentary, which I can only deduce he hasn't been doing much. There's a penalty. And it's been kicked over the sideline. That penalty count mounting up to 11-2 in favour of the Hull side. 11-3, my mistake. Windley onto Ah Kuoi. Crooks hitting the line. Going to pass away. It's gone to ground. O'Hara overran it. Meninga picks it up and brings it back towards the quarter line. And Knocker Norton comes in from about 15 metres away on the charge, and he's being penalised with a referee because tackle had been called. I think he probably would have broken his shoulder on Meninga anyway. Now Meninga had kicked 10 metres from the halfway line. Tap restart by Royce Simmons. 2 balls on the field at the moment. Daly comes straight and hard. He's done very well after an uncomfortable opening when he lost the ball a couple of times early. He's played strongly, as has Davidson. It's Langmack's best game, I believe, of the tour. All in all, it's been a very rousing performance by a depleted Australian forward pack. Jack, very close to getting through. Get off him, says the referee. Well, Norton taking a power of time to get off him. Sterling. Gene Miles. Popped a pass. It should have been taken there by Davidson. It's now in the possession of the Hull side. Their wing 3/4 there. Carl McCoid was the man that picked that up. Little Royce Simmons come with a strong performance too. He's had some good runs from dummy half. Johnson. Norton, rather. Away to Crooks. I'm sure he'll be sick of the sight of Australians. At the end of this match, he's played in the 2 tests. Ah Kuoi. Not going anywhere there. Stewart Vass. Now, Greg Dowling is back on the field again now. G. Miles caught. Spun a pass out to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor showing a clean pair of heels. Is on the incisive burst. It's a beautiful run. He's going to pass to Shearer. Shearer goes hard. And he's just pushed into touch. What a magnificent run by Michael O'Connor. And this is just absolute stupidity. The New Zealand player there, O'Hara, resented the fact, I think, that the Australians had the long run. And there was absolutely no necessity for that. This is a bit of garbage, this lot. It's all push and shove. Bit of hard work in the background being done by Daly there, just grabbing hold of the jersey of Kemble and pulling him away like a rag doll. Terry Lamb was in the middle of it, but very little in the way of punching going on. It started because O'Connor got to this position and Shearer tried to get himself just into the corner. No need for that. A matter of fact, were I the referee, I would have sent Dane O'Hara off for knees in the back. I would have straight away set him off for that. That was an awful bit of business. And he's going to be called over now. I do hope he's walked. I do hope he's walked for this. We don't need the gutless idiots who drop the knees into the back of people on the ground. Well, it's a penalty, is it? Or is it going to be a scrum? I don't know. You've got to take your time with these decisions. Well, O'Hara's had his knuckles wrapped for something that could have been potentially a crippling move. That's in and out. That should be a penalty to Australia, I was going to say, because the halfback fell straight on the ball. But there you go. So that's a penalty count now, which won't give me. I won't make any further comment on it. 12-1, 12-4, 12-4. Gary Jack's a monkey. Some of the crowd are calling out in front of us here as some sort of monkey. Yeah, Graham, you've got some information there from Benny Elias about the way the boys are going.
Benny, this looks as though it's the way it's developed in the second half. As though it's a good one to miss.
Sure is, mate. There's plenty of fighting going out there, and you know, it just ruins a good football game. And you know, I'm glad I'm not out there.
Well, I think it's been a fairly strong performance from the pack, though, the Aussies.
Oh, they've played exceptionally well. They've been disciplined enough to keep their heads on their shoulders and play football, and at the same time not take a backward step. And you know, a lot of credit must be given to the forwards because they are back on this winning side today.
Am I going to get a compliment out of you for Royce Simmons? He's played well.
Yeah, Royce played real well, actually. I thought he had a very good first half. And, you know, you can't really do much to impress in the second half because of what's been happening.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Well, Gary Jack's just had an error that made him look just a little bit uncomfortable there. Knocked on a ball that was grubber kicked through to him that you'd expect him to have been able to at least fall on, but he wasn't able to do that. Knocked on, lost it, and then the halfback Windley was able to come over the top and regather. Then a penalty ensued, which was for failure to get off the tackle player quickly. Now Hull come back for one of those rare occasions I've mentioned into the Australian quarter. There's loss of possession on the first tackle straight away. Up comes Dowling, who's back from the sin bin with a continuation of his very strong work out to Sterling. On to Lamb. Lamb gets it away to Meninga. Meninga running on there. Gets a pass back on the inside to Shearer. Shearer's bolted. He's gone beautifully up the side. Now cut back infield. He's kicked. He's kicked again. He's kicked again. Will he get to it? No, there's going to be a penalty to Hull. Would you believe? Would you believe? Well, let's see if the referee is totally on the ball there. He's alleging that there was a trip attempt. Now, if that's the case, we will apologise. Let's see. Shearer kicks ahead. A race for the ball. Can you see anything wrong with that? I can't see a thing wrong with it. He did knock on at the end, but the penalty's been awarded, and it's not for a knock on, I can assure you. That's a little bit of an unknown quantity, that penalty. That ball kicked over our head. Penalty count 14-4. But the score, 40 Australia, 7 tries and 6 goals to 0. Lee Crooks standing very deep, trying to get his body through there, but he's a strong, enormously powerful man. Still stands in the tackle, takes it towards the halfway line. Steve Crooks took a long while to make up his mind where to pass that. That's the replacement. Jon Sharp. Norton. Steps. Offloads. Crooks on the halfway line. Norton standing very close to the ruck. He elects to kick deep. It's been beautifully fielded there by Michael O'Connor. Coming low and hard to his left-hand side. They're just their own side of halfway, the Australians. Miles tearing his way through the middle of the ruck. A forward-sized back. Sterling doing the organising out wide, looking for support. Davidson's there. Turns, couldn't get the pass away on the halfway line. Simmons, a dive pass to Sterling. Langmack swivels his way through a tackle, gets it to Sterling. Secondary play coming up now. Long cut-out pass to Miles. Miles on the accelerate, tears away, gets it to Jack. Jack's going strong, looks for support, throws the dummy. Had support there with Dale Shearer on the inside. I think he should have passed. He gets up and plays it forward, and he's in. And I would have penalised him had I been the referee. I would have penalised him because I believe he had a marker, but we'll see that again. The English players get away with this repeatedly, and obviously he's learnt from them. See, Jack, and see if you agree with me that he had a marker in front. I may be not spot on, but we shall see. Now, Jack had support there. Shearer comes back on the inside. He calls for him, he looks, doesn't get the pass, throws the dummy. Now, we're watching it here. There's the push and shove, the usual business. Well, to me, there was a player half in front of him there, and a referee in Sydney would have penalised for that, I feel sure. Anyway, it's a try to Gary Jack. The score hastens on to 44-0. The kick and goal to follow. Yes, 4:20. We are here at Hull on the east coast of Yorkshire, the fishing centre, and it is getting very, very dark. The lights have been on all through the match. Michael O'Connor, 5 metres outside, inside the quarter, and about 10 metres in from the sideline. Breeze nondescript. Struck that very well, but it's away to the left. The referee signifies no goal. Score, I did miss some of the early games. Arrived the score of the tour. Is this it? 46. That was against He's used Hull Kingston were the recipients of a 46 points tally against them. Number 14 is on there too. That is Gary Pearce, a bye from Wales, a rugby player. Jack, the scorer of the last try, is tackled there by that man. Pearce, who's playing, I believe, his first game for the side. Stocky player. And they come, Australia moving it on the left-hand side of the ruck. Still a great deal of commitment from the Australian forwards, doing their job strongly and hard. There's Daly, learning a bit of a Ray Price swivel these days. Simmons, back she goes to Meninga. Downfield he belts it. Kemble will have to go back. It's gone back end over end, takes it on the first bounce. He's going to kick on the first tackle. Very negative tactics in my view. It's going to go to Gary Jack. Well, Jack's now going to take a lesson from him. I hope it's a lesson he doesn't learn too well and kick on the first tackle. Now Australians have ringed full around. There's Lamb, there's Royce Simmons, and we've got an old-fashioned kicking duel in our hands here at the moment. I don't think Mel Meninga somehow is going to go along with it. No, Mel's going to offload to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor goes up the sideline. He's gone round his man, gets a pass back on the inside to Meninga. Meninga's boiling upfield, beaten 2, 3, gets a pass away. Oh! And Terry Lamb put his hand out for that, and it touched his fingertip, and he propelled it forward. I think he was looking for number 13. He was looking for number 14, I think. Yeah. Terry Lamb, a veritable try-hungry man on this tour. And he wants it again. It's in and out the whole side. There's the new boy. He's picked off smartly by Terry Lamb. Rugby union player. There's Dan O'Hara. He's done precious little except drop his knees into the back of Dale Shearer on one occasion. Knocker Norton, still willing, still clever. That great forward pace he used to have when he's healthy on days is gone. And a penalty inside the 5. So Mr. Smith has been consistent. 15-4 the penalty count. And the penalty kick for touch again right out of the ground there. Line kicking has been of a very high calibre. And that's one of the very few things we can learn from them at the moment. Their own line kicking from both Lewis and Sterling in the last test was pretty ordinary stuff. Hull Kingston. Lee Crooks. Very strong player, hard man to put to the ground. They've got very little pattern this whole side. They're running right out of steam. And now it's a penalty for use of an elbow, I believe. The use of an elbow as he was carrying the football. He was backing away. And we'll have a look at it again. That's Dave Brown. I don't think he's terribly amused by that. And this is the big fella, rather slowly taking the ball up. We are in slow-mo, of course, but he didn't take it fast. And he's used his elbow on a couple of occasions there, which the referee sprung. OK, Daly. Crowd calling for offside, but he's gone right through the middle of the ruck. It's a big run from Daly, taking Kemble on, and that's a great run. That's 55 metres. He's gone right through the meat of the ruck. Good stuff from the young fella. Now out they come along the line. Sterling's gone for a kick, and here's a try, a simple one. Well, is the referee going to rule it? No, he's going to call offside there. Langmack's been called into an offside position, and it's going to be a penalty to the whole side. Well, I'm not going to argue with the referees. He didn't actually ground the ball in the accredited manner either. So here they go with another fine kick. Gee whiz, we ought to get this bloke and get him to coach our line kickers. That's another easy 35 metres, as you please. Norton, Ah Kuoi. An absolute sameness about their style. Their ruck work is ponderous. Lee Crooks tries vainly to offload passes to suck people to him, defenders, so he can pop a pass, but nobody runs to the gaps he creates. Norton, little dummy, runs into Gary Dowling. Very nearly has the ball stolen from him. And out they go along that line again. And that pass was forward, but it's been put into the clear. Here is number 14, Gary Pearce, the rugby union man, but Gary Jack pulls off a fine head-on tackle, which puts him down. And here they go again with number 15 there, coming up, Jon Sharp, the replacement. Their best little bit of a roll they've had. The Hull side looking desperately to get a try out of this. Dave Brown now on the boil, takes play into the quarter, but they've run out of tackles. It's the last tackle coming up. Let's see what they do to Crooks. It's gone to Ah Kuoi. He's gone for a high bomb. It's going to be hit or miss. It's beautifully taken out there by an Australian player, and now the referee, Gary Jack, was the man who took it, but he's ruled that they were offside. 44 points to 0, 8 tries and 6 goals to the Australian side. That line kick takes play to the quarter, a gain of only about 15 metres from there. Not a huge angle to kick for, though. And here they go now. Daly looking to emulate his previous run, which was a 55-yarder, but that time they got to him smartly. And Davidson just forcing these Hull forwards to come in 2s and 3s to stop them, and then they spin it wide. Miles, the dummy, lobbed a pass around the body, beautifully executed. Hasler was the man who received it. He's tackled about 5 metres short of the halfway line. Out to Sterling. Sterling throws a dummy, gets it to Lamb, back there to Davidson. Stands in a tackle, gets it to Roy Simmons. Simmons pops a pass out to Meninga. Beautiful stuff from him. Gets it nicely on the inside to Shearer. Shearer's up the sideline. Can he take Kemble on? He's got a pass into Lamb. It's going to be pulled up. Going to be pulled up. Dale Shearer there did absolutely perfectly. The referee was, I must say, in a very good position to rule, and he's ruled another try has been squandered here by the Australians. Meninga calls Shearer on the inside. Shearer shows his great acceleration there to get around on the outside. Now we're looking at this line, and you can see, yes, I'm not going to argue, 2 metres forward, good decision. And now Hull come up with a scrum win. Oh, hey, look at that strong defence there. Mal Meninga coming in with a tackle on Kemble that absolutely rattled his teeth. And there's a byproduct of that tackle. Somebody just wasn't interested in getting the football on that occasion and had a bit of a look, and they dropped it away to Sterling. The long cut-out pass to Michael O'Connor out in the wing. He's trying to go round his man. Instead of that, he pushes him off. They're about 15 metres out, looking for another 6 points if they can do it. Gene Miles, strong, one-handed pass. It's gone to ground onto O'Connor. It's been knocked down. It'll be 6 to go now to the Australian side. Touched by Knocker Norton. Langmack away to Daly. Daly on the swivel. He's about 5 metres out, but he's given them a run that's given them a blind side to operate with as well as open. Sterling to Lamb. Lamb pops it, can't get a pass now. Gets away now, out to Simmons. Simmons onto Meninga. Meninga away to Shearer, and Shearer's in for a try. And it took a while in coming, but it was only a matter of keeping the ball alive. This is really quite an extraordinarily talented Australian touring side. Even the way they just offload the ball in such a bewildering fashion at times. The parlous defence, I know, we must take that into account. But there's Meninga. He gets it to Shearer. Shearer's on the outside of his man, goes over the line and pops it down one-handed. He's worked hard for that try today too, Dale Shearer. He's done a lot of running, particularly in the first half. 48 points to 0, and Alan Catt, my director, who is always on the ball, will tell me over the headphones exactly how long there is to go. What did I tell you? On the ball is Alan Catt, worth more money, would get it were I the man to do it. I'm not, and he's not. So what we're going to do is tell you that there are 3 minutes to go. Oh dear, some terrible work being done in the control van here at the moment. I mean, the lads are just a little bit so elated with the way the Australian team's going. They've temporarily lost their cool. 48 points, 9 tries and 6 goals. How sweet it is. Now Terry Lamb is going to have an attempt. We want the 50. Can he do it from this angle? That's the kick, 1 metre in from the sideline on the quarter. Terry Lamb. Is it a half-ton? It's looking good. It's looking strong. It's just away to the left. So the score remains 2 off the half-ton. 48 points to 0. Highest score of the tour so far. I know all the lads will be wanting to do this. Sterling's caught it from the kickoff. All of them will be wanting to do this business of 50 points. Sterling offloads to Royce Simmons. Simmons running like a three-quarter. Can't get a pass away. Yes, he does. He gets it away nicely to Dowling, who's finally put to ground. Great sustained ball running there by Sterling and Simmons. Now it's on to Davidson. He's on the tear. Pops a pass beautifully to Meninga. Meninga's got it away into Dowling yes, I've got that, Langmack, and Langmack, I think, pulled back for about the second time. Well, I'm not going to argue with the referee. The pass could have been. The referee was well positioned to see, but you be the judge. And there is the pass that he's talking about. Well, you know, didn't look all that much to me, but when the score gets up around 48-0, I suppose you've got to give the opposition a bit of a help. So there it is. Back they come with another splendid line kick. If they can translate line kicks into tries, this will be a premiership team. How long can they keep the ball? They're not masters of retaining possession, this whole team, I'll be bound. There, Dave Brown. About 5 metres over the ruck, coming down to the Z zone. Time running out. Ah Kuoi running crossfield. That pass thrown out there in a very haphazard fashion, but it was accepted by Norton. Long cutout pass. Number 13, that's the replacement, Tracy Lazenby. He's had a good weaving run and brought undone. There's the hooter in the background. So the lads, the Australian team, have come up with a rousing victory to the tune of 48 points to 0, 8 tries,